All right, what's up, everyone? That was a really long, empty pause of absolutely nothing right there. But we have some lo-fi Christmas songs going because I don't want to get a copyright strike. But guess what? I'm here to give you 10 ideas for someone who is a ham radio operator that you have no clue what to get them. And so here's a good starting spot for everyone. I have 11 things written, but I'm going to call this the top 10, but it's 11 things. So just be aware that that's what I'm doing just because it's my YouTube video and I can do whatever I want. So number one, I have a little list right here, is an iFixit kit. I put a DX Engineering sticker on this because DX Engineering, I order a lot of stuff from them and they've sent me like billions of stickers. And so I just ran out of stuff to put them on. So I started putting them on everything. You could tell if my dog runs away because he'll be the one with the DX Engineering sticker. But it comes with a driver and then it has all of your bits kind of organized in. Super, super handy. The tray is magnetic, so it will just kind of magnetic to the back of it. And it holds right onto there, or it's got these little dividers on it. They're not very deep, like you can just rub your fingers across them, but you can use that to like organize screws and things like that. And then it just kind of folds up. So pretty little handy. iFixit. It's super awesome. Anytime someone needs to buy a screwdriver or any like kit thing and they're small to work on tiny electronics, that's the go-to. They were made for tiny electronics. Number two is going to be headphones, and I have two examples here. Obviously not the headphones that I'm wearing. These are extremely overkill for amateur radio, but I have some Heil Pro 7s right here, which I hate more than anything, but these aren't too bad. They have a built-in microphone. I just don't like them myself. I don't think that they sound that good. The microphone quality is pretty mediocre, and I think that they're extremely overpriced. They're okay as far as comfort, but you know, the other example I have are some Sony Buds. So these aren't too bad. These don't work. These came with my phone. These don't work because I hooked them up to my amp and turned it up as high as it would go and blew them up. But they are, before I did that, they're okay sounding if you like in-ear headphones. If not, you can get some Sony over-ear headphones. Those will work just as well. Out of here, anything that can kind of either block the noise out or anything like that, especially on busy days like field day where you want something over your ears. If you go with the Heil one, just be aware that they'll need a switch, so either a hand switch which my wife prefers, or a foot switch which I prefer. You just step on it. If you're buying them a Heil set of headphones, they're $200-ish. They can afford their own foot switch after that. They should be grateful. Next ones are over here. CW starting to see a bit of a resurgence. I know it's not required anymore in order to get your license. A bunch of people in my local club give me a bunch of crap because I'm a no-code extra, but I'm sorry, it's hard to hear them over my Odyssey headphones and my extra license, but you can get a Code Practice oscillator kit. Not this one. This one's from vakits.com. This one sucks. This is by far the worst sounding thing I've ever heard in my entire life. I would compare it like if you've ever heard a cat in heat, and that's about what this speaker sounds like. If you don't believe me, I'll record a video of me just sitting there tapping away with some CW on it, but it's pretty disgusting. This is a Morse Reno kit. You probably seen some of the ham radio YouTube celebrities use it. It's not too bad. It connects with Wi-Fi, and you can have a QSO over the internet with someone using Wi-Fi, which I know some people, well, a lot of hams are like, that's not real ham radio, but it gets someone to be able to practice with another individual, not necessarily on the air, but over, the internet. So it does give them that practice, and they can work one-on-one with another individual using that. And I don't know, I think it's a really cool device. You can plug your own key into it. Oh my God, it's eaten the other thing, the garbage Code Practice oscillator. How did I just throw that on the floor? Because I'm never going to use it. But yeah, this isn't too bad. I've used it. The paddles on it they don't work on mine anymore, but you can see like my soldering job is literally a nightmare. And so you can plug your own key into it, in this plug. You can plug headphones into the back of it. You can plug a transceiver into it. This is the headphone jack. You can plug a transceiver into it. I don't know how to do that, so I've never done it myself, but you can, I guess, which is cool. if that's your thing. The other one, an antenna analyzer. I use the Rig Expert Stick 230, and I just want to say, Rig Expert, I love this thing, but the reason that I love it is because of the screen. Why don't you make it go up to like do 440? You could have made this go to 440. It goes to 230. No one is on 220. Okay, no one's on 220. I know there's going to be one guy in the comments, I'm on 220. Yeah, that guy's on 220. Everybody else is on 440. So make this go up to 440. I know I can get the Pro, but the Pro screen isn't this paper screen, this e-paper screen, which is awesome because you can read it in bright sunlight. You can read it just about anywhere, and it's awesome. I love the Rig Expert Stick. If this ever broke, I would replace it with another one that's identical, unless it broke because of like, you know, manufacturer error, then I would probably try to find something else. But I've been very happy with this. Also, whoever designed this, make a little thingy to like, because I'm going to lose this cap. I lose a ton of stuff. It does come with this sick lanyard, which is nice because it'll hang around your neck. This was really helpful when I was trying to tune the butternut outside. But highly recommend Antenna Analyzer. That's another really good one you can get. Rig Expert, don't go with junk. Don't go with like, I know MFJ works. I'm not hating on MFJ, but I'm hating on MFJ. Go with something else. The next is a digital voice hotspot. I have right here an open, God, that light is so bright. Get out of here. An OpenSpot 3 has USB Type-C charging. Take note of that, Yaesu. Take note of that ICOM, which will come to, you know, Yaesu and ICOM later. But this one is the OpenSpot, the OpenSpot 3. This one's more on the more expensive side, but again, this is like the Rolls-Royce of of digital voice hotspots. And the reason that I say that, I know there's another company that refers to themselves as the digital voice or the Rolls-Royce of hotspots, but they literally advertise on their website that they sell fake diamond antennas. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know that whenever you step into a Rolls-Royce, if the people who run, I think it's Rugged Spot, if they have ever been in a Rolls-Royce, but in a Rolls-Royce, that leather, it's not fake, friends. So go with a real one. Get an OpenSpot 3. It's worth it. Zoom Spot is kind of the lowest price. I don't say cheapest because I don't feel like you're getting less quality with the Zoom Spot. I feel like you're getting decent quality with the Zoom Spot. It also is built upon a Raspberry Pi Zero, which is really nice. But yeah, you could definitely go with a digital voice hotspot. You can use it for Fusion, DMR, D-Star, and then it does all like the other weird modes like P25 and Next Gen and stuff that no one ever uses. Next up, a big bag of ferrite chokes. All right, I think I got these off Amazon for next to nothing. I actually have 2 stray ones that are just sitting on my desk for some reason. But I have ferrites on everything. I'm a modern person. I live in 2021, and because of that, I have Wi-Fi routers, I have a computer, I have a smart home, I have electronics everywhere. And sometimes we know that whenever things are produced in China, they're not produced to the greatest quality. No one buys a Baofeng because it's good. People buy a Baofeng because it's cheap. And cheap electronics means cheap quality. And because of that, I know that some of the stuff that I have around the house generates electrical noise or RF noise that then can be picked up by my radio. There are repeaters that I can't use because there's just way too much noise in my house produced on those frequencies. I have to have a tone on most frequencies in order to block out that RF noise. So I use ferrite chokes in order to try to quiet things up because I live in a city, like in a city. So that's another one, big bag of ferrite chokes. Next is, where is it? There they are, SDRs. Okay, so I have 2 of them. You can go on the low end, these RTL SDRs. These things are really good, and I thought that for a while that this was going to be garbage because it was sold on Amazon, and Amazon usually sells like bootleg Chinese stuff, and that this was going to be really low quality. It was also $25, but this is actually surprisingly good. I really like the RTL SDR. Make sure you actually get it from RTL SDR and you're not getting, because for some reason, like even when you find really cheap Chinese stuff, people make fakes of cheap Chinese stuff, which is criminy. I don't know, but make sure that you're getting a good SDR. The other one that I have here is a little bit more higher end. This is by SDR Play. It's the RSP Duo. This one is obviously a lot better, but this one is also very, very expensive. This I use a lot for testing different things, hearing different signals, seeing if I can, raise the noise floor on, or I guess like raise my level to hear above the noise floor and stuff like that. While I use this for satellite telemetry, which I'll talk about a little bit later. Next up is fox hunting equipment. I got everything like organized, but it's not organized. I just know where to reach and grab for it. So the first one is an Arrow loop antenna. I have a BNC to SMA thing on there. You can get people these little SMA or adapter thingies. That's another really good one. Make that 11 things on the list. But a loop antenna, or you can get them a sniffer. So this is a VK3YNG sniffer version 4, and both of these things, I mean, you don't combine these things together. You use this with a Yagi, and then this goes on an HT, but both of these are really good. I use this, my wife likes this with her HT. Either can be used for fox hunting if you're actually doing like the ADRF, the amateur radio direction finding, or ARDF, amateur radio direction finding, whatever, the one where people run in the woods and stuff like that. If you're doing that, both of them can work with it. On like the more of over the road type stuff where you're actually driving to the different spots, those are helpful once you get close, but not, I don't think that they're that great for long distance. Like I would never use them for long distance. So that's fox hunting equipment. Next up, pen. I use a Fisher Space Pen. I use this one right here. I really like it. It's got a very satisfying action. It's got a button on the side. You just click it down. It writes in different angles. It also writes in the rain. I just really like it. I know there's a bunch of like preppers that really like the little tiny bullet pen. I have one downstairs. It's also chrome because I'm not a prepper, to be honest. I mean, how many people are preppers wearing polo? But Fisher Space Pens are really nice, which the other nice thing about them, they're really high quality, but you can get refills for them and you can swap them out so that you're not constantly just chucking plastic away and, ruining the environment. The final thing on the list, it's number 10, is Raspberry Pi. So I have a little case on mine. This is one I use for radio direction finding when I put the thing up on my roof. I use a Kerberos as like my SDR for it. But this is a Raspberry Pi 4, the 4 gigabyte model. I have an 8 gigabyte in the ham shack behind me. I have a 4 gigabyte downstairs that I use for my Volumio my Volumio music server. So when I listen to music, I have a Raspberry Pi 3 in the ham shack, which has an antenna on it that I use for my my second digital voice hotspot, because I have every digital mode because I'm a loser. Then there's a Raspberry Pi Zero on this. This is a little AMSAT microsat kit. It's a CubeSat Sim Lite. I have this to practice satellite telemetry reception, but you can use them for a bunch of different things. I have 3 things listed. I have shack computer, portable computer, or kits, and they work for either of those. You can have it as your primary computer in your shack. If you do that, I would suggest you go with a Raspberry Pi 4, the 8 gig model, and actually install a 64-bit operating system onto it to get the most horsepower out of it. And then I suggest that you overclock it and get a decently sized like 256 or 128 terabyte SD card or gigabyte SD card. Jesus, could you imagine 128 terabyte SD card? That'll probably be out in like 3 years. But you don't need to go with a terabyte SD card. I think that that's way too big for the Raspberry Pi, unless you're going to be using it as a primary computer and installing stuff on it, like you're going to be putting music on it or whatever else. You can use it as a portable computer. This thing right here, it uses USB Type-C. Thank you, Raspberry Pi, USB Type-C. OpenSpot, USB Type-C. What's up, homies? But you can use this to... I'm about to get a package delivered, but you can use this to as a portable computer. You hook it up to a little display. You can go headless, which I know some of the preppers love to go headless and stuff. I take it's like a portable laptop screen with me, 14 inch screen, and use that as my primary screen. And then I have a little wireless keyboard that has a little mouse trackpad built into it that I use. And you can also do some kit building with it. The AMSAT stuff is really cool. If you wanted to actually use the full CubeSat Sim, you could.
Someone's at the front door.
There's my SSD being dropped off. And then the last thing I have, this one's a little bit of a stretch because of how expensive it is, but an HT. This is the FT5D. I would suggest the FT3D, and the reason I suggest that is because the FT5D should be called the FT3 version 2, because it has an orange button, and that means that it's, you know, they have to charge more. I put diamond antennas on all of mine because I want high gain antennas. If you're only running with 5 watts, you need as much punch behind it as you can get. So I use high gain antennas and things like that. But get an HT, get something of quality. Anytone is good. Don't go with Baofeng. Baofeng sucks. Okay, like no one wants a Baofeng. That's like giving coal on Christmas. Don't give someone a Baofeng. Yaesu has the FT70, which is good. The issue that I have with kind of some of the modern HTs that are releasing is if you want something good, you're going to have to go expensive. A lot of them use proprietary plugs. This Yaesu on the opposite side has the from the push to talk has the data port connector, and that's micro USB, which no one uses. Micro USB, or maybe it's mini USB. It's the big one, the one that the PlayStation 3 controllers use, not PlayStation 4. Okay, so it's mini because micro is that. ICOM uses micro. It's like just I have how many things sitting on my desk right now, and they all use USB Type C. The Raspberry Pi, the OpenSpot, even my keyboard uses USB Type C. My phone uses USB Type C. Just put in USB Type C. Come on, Yaesu, please. FT5 version 2, USB Type C. I just steal my idea. You don't have to give me credit for it. And also, fix everything else that's wrong with your radio. Your radio kind of sucks, to be honest. Like that touch screen, that's going to get messed up. Change it to glass. But other than that, there's my 10 plus 1 idea, plus 2, because the little adapter thingies. But I think those are all really good things that you can include. If I'm gonna be honest, if anyone gave me one of these things for Christmas, I would not be disappointed. Like that would be I would be super excited. I don't think anyone's gonna open up a stocking and be like, oh, you got me the garbage SDR. What am I ever gonna use with that? They'll find a way. They would be psyched to get that. I know some hams are going to be like, I'm never going to use digital voice because that's not real ham radio. Well, you know what? Ham radio is about innovation and progressing forward, and saying that's not real ham radio is stifling that innovation. You know, the only thing I like to do is digital. So what does that really say? That, you know, I have my extra license out here and I'm rocking an OpenSpot 3. Which again, this is a little overkill, but it is the Rolls-Royce. Super nice. All this stuff is super nice. The Morse Reno is nice because if you know how to solder. But all these things, I honestly think if you got one of them, other than that garbage Code Practice oscillator and the Heil headphones, even the Heil headphones work for a ham radio. The big thing is if you're going to listen to music through them, they sound really muddy because they don't have any bass and they don't have any top end. They don't really have many mids. They really have like a very specific frequency range. They sound hollow. I know that's a weird thing to say, but they sound hollow. But I think those are really good ideas. This video is going on a little bit longer than I wanted it to. I'm a big proponent of 10 minutes. That's all you have, and then you lose people's attention. And I'm one of the most boring people in the entire world, so I know that that's not really going to help. But that's it. You know, I don't know when I'm going to put out the next video, because really I just made this channel because I was going to do ham radio stuff, but I hate editing videos. As you can tell, there's going to be no edits in this entire thing start to finish. There won't be a thumbnail either because I hate doing thumbnails. You know what? I'll find a thumbnail. I'll find a cool thumbnail to do. It'll probably just be a picture. But either way, that's all I have. Thanks everyone for watching. You know, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know, out of all those 10 things plus 1, 2, which one would you be pumped to get in a stocking or as a gift or something like that? For me, headphones. I love listening to music, but I would honestly be pumped getting any of those things. But thanks everyone for watching. Stay safe out there.